You know what always breaks my heart? Walking past a neighbor's yard in winter, and seeing pots full of plants that look like they gave up weeks ago. The truth is, most people don't lose their plants because of the cold. They lose them because they never knew the simple, almost sneaky tricks that can keep them alive. That's why I'm glad you're here with me today. This is Timeless Gardening, where we don't just grow plants, we grow confidence, creativity, and a little bit of peace of mind, all without draining your wallet. If you've ever felt that sting of watching something you nurtured all season wither away too soon, I want you to know, you're not alone. And today, I'm going to show you how a handful of things from Dollar Tree can quietly become your plant's secret winter bodyguards. So before we dig in, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. Not just to support this channel, but to join a circle of gardeners who believe in doing more with less, and in keeping life thriving no matter the season. Hack number 1. Plastic cake carriers as mini domes. Okay, here's a Dollar Tree item you've probably never thought about for gardening. Those plastic cake carriers. Yep, the same ones usually hauling a birthday cake or a plate of cookies to the party. But out here in the garden, that clear dome is about to become your plant's personal bodyguard. Here's what you do. Flip the lid over a small pot or seedling tray. Instantly you've created a mini greenhouse. During the day, the plastic lets sunlight pour in and traps that warmth inside. At night, when the frost tries to sneak in, the dome keeps your plants tucked into their own little bubble of protection. And if you're worried about air circulation, don't be. Most of those lids aren't airtight, so a little fresh air naturally slips through. If you want more, just wedge a pebble under one edge. Boom. Problem solved. What makes this hack so great is how flexible it is. You can move it from plant to plant, line up a few in a row for your seedlings, or stack them away when you're not using them. And when winter's over, wash it off and bring it back inside for its original job, carrying dessert. I mean, who knew a cake carrier could save both your plants and your sweet tooth? Hack number 2. Foam board heat shields. Now here's one that comes straight out of the school supplies aisle. You know those lightweight foam boards kids use for science fair projects? Well, instead of building a volcano, we're going to use them to keep your plants alive this winter. All you do is stand the boards up around your pots, or raised beds like little walls. Instantly they block those icy winds that can suck the life right out of your plants. And here's the fun part. That white surface actually bounces sunlight back onto your plants, almost like your garden just hired a second sun. They're super easy to set up. Wedge them into the soil, lean them against containers, or secure them with a couple of stakes if you want to get fancy. And if you're gardening on a balcony or patio, this hack is a total game changer. It creates a cozy pocket of warm air right where your plants need it most. The best part, you're not just protecting what's above the soil. Foam boards actually help the ground itself hold on to warmth longer, and that extra degree or two could be the reason your roots keep growing, instead of shutting down for the season. And when winter's over, just wipe them off and stash them away for next year, or let the kids borrow them for their next science project. But this time, you'll know those boards pulled double duty as secret garden bodyguards. Hack number 3. Coffee filters for root protection. Alright, let's head over to the kitchen aisle for this one. Coffee filters. Most people buy them just to brew their morning cup. But out here in the garden, they can do a whole lot more than keep coffee grounds out of your mug. Here's the trick. Place a layer of coffee filters at the bottom of your pots, or lay them right on top of the soil before adding mulch. What happens is pretty clever. Those filters act like a soft, breathable blanket for the roots. They help the soil hold in warmth, keep moisture from evaporating too quickly, and add just enough insulation to stop frost from biting down into the root zone. And here's the bonus. Coffee filters break down naturally over time, which means they won't clog up your soil or hurt your plants. They actually feed the soil a little as they decompose. Think of it like giving your plants a winter sweater that eventually turns into compost. Plus, coffee filters are cheap, lightweight, and easy to use. You don't have to wrestle with heavy bags of fancy root covers, or spend a fortune on special liners. Just grab a pack for $1, and you've got enough to protect an entire season's worth of potted plants. So the next time you're sipping your morning coffee, remember, those filters aren't just keeping your cup clean. They could be the reason your plants make it through the winter alive and thriving. Hack number 4. Aluminum foil heat reflectors. Now this one comes from the baking aisle, and it's one of my favorites, because it feels a little like magic. Aluminum foil, normally it's wrapping up leftovers, but out in the garden, foil is your secret weapon against dark, gloomy winter days. Here's how it works. Line the inside of a Dollar Tree baking tray with foil and place it behind your pots, or even stick a sheet along a wall near your plants. What you've just made is a reflector. Any sunlight that hits that shiny surface bounces right back onto your plants, almost like you've doubled the amount of daylight they're getting. And trust me, in winter, every bit of extra light counts. If you're growing indoors near a window, this hack is a game changer. That weak winter sun might not feel like much, but with foil bouncing it around, your plants get light from multiple directions. It helps them stay stronger, greener, and way less leggy. And it's not just light. Foil also reflects heat. So if you're using a grow light, or your plants are in a sunny window, that extra warmth circles right back to them instead of getting lost in the room. The best part? When you're done, just wipe it off and reuse it again, either in the garden or in the kitchen. Simple, shiny, and way more effective than it looks. Hack number 5. Cotton mop head as root insulation. This one's hiding in plain sight in the cleaning aisle. A good old-fashioned cotton mop head. Most people grab it to scrub their floors, but in the garden, those thick cotton strands can actually become a cozy blanket for your plants. Here's what you do. Take the mop head apart so you've got those long, soft strands, and spread them around the base of your potted plants, or directly over the soil in your garden beds. What you've just made is a DIY mulch that insulates the roots, locks in warmth, and keeps the soil from drying out too quickly. It's kind of like tucking your plants in at night with a blanket. The cotton holds heat from the sun during the day, then slowly releases it back into the soil when temperatures drop. And because it's breathable, you don't have to worry about suffocating your plants. Here's the bonus. Cotton breaks down over time, which means it actually enriches the soil as it decomposes. So instead of tossing money at expensive mulch, you've got a cheap, all-natural option that doubles as plant food in the long run. And if you've got kids or pets who like to poke around your garden, no worries. It's just cotton. Safe, simple, and surprisingly effective for keeping your roots happy through winter. Alright, let me pause here and ask you something. What's the strangest thing you've ever used in your garden that wasn't actually made for gardening? I love hearing these because half the time, it's the oddball ideas that end up working the best. Drop it down in the comments, and who knows, your tip might end up in one of our future videos. And hey, if you're finding these hacks helpful so far, give this video a quick thumbs up. It lets me know you're enjoying it, and it helps more gardeners like us discover these budget-friendly tricks. Hack number 6. Plastic water bottles for thermal banking. This hack is so simple, you might not believe how well it works. Plastic water bottles. We usually think of them as something to toss in the recycling bin, but in winter gardening, they turn into little heaters for your plants. Here's the trick. Fill a few bottles with warm water during the day, and place them right next to your pots, or inside a mini greenhouse setup. As the temperature drops at night, those bottles slowly release the stored heat back into the air and soil around your plants. It's like giving your garden its own set of hot water bottles. The best part is, you don't have to buy anything fancy. Old soda bottles, juice bottles, even milk jugs will work. The bigger the bottle, the longer it holds the heat. And if you want to take it a step further, paint one side of the bottle black. That way it absorbs more sunlight during the day, giving your plants extra warmth when they need it most. This trick is especially handy for container gardens, because pots lose heat much faster than garden beds. A few bottles tucked in around your plants can mean the difference between waking up to healthy leaves or a sad frozen mess. Hack number 7. Silicone baking mats as frost shields. This next one comes from the kitchen aisle, and it's probably the last thing you'd expect to help your plants survive winter. Silicone baking mats. Normally, they're the reason your cookies don't stick to the pan, but out here in the garden, they become tough, reusable frost shields. Here's how it works. When the forecast calls for frost, drape the mats gently over your low-growing plants, herbs, or even trays of seedlings. Silicone acts like a barrier that prevents frost crystals from settling directly on the leaves, and it holds on to a bit of warmth from the day, keeping that chill just far enough away to save your plants. What makes these mats so handy is how durable they are. Unlike thin plastic or paper, they won't tear, fly away in the wind, or fall apart after one use. In the morning you just peel them off, shake off the frost, and they're ready to go again that very night. And here's a fun twist. You can actually cut them into smaller pieces to fit different sized pots, or create custom covers for odd-shaped plants. Think of it as making little jackets tailored to your garden's needs. So instead of spending money on single-use frost cloths, you've got a cheap reusable option that does the job just as well, and cleans up with a quick rinse in the sink. Hack number 8. Hula hoop plant tents. Now this one is a Dollar Tree classic. Hula hoops. You probably picture kids spinning them around their waist, but in the garden they turn into the frame for a simple budget-friendly plant tent. Here's how you set it up. Take a hula hoop, cut it in half, and stick the ends into the soil on either side of your plant bed or container. Do the same with another hoop a little further down, and suddenly you've got an arched frame. Throw a clear shower curtain liner, or even a lightweight plastic tablecloth over the top, and you've built a mini greenhouse for just a few bucks. The curved shape of the hoops keeps the cover from resting directly on your plants, which means better airflow and less chance of frost damage. Plus that little pocket of trapped air underneath holds on to warmth during the night, giving your plants a fighting chance when the temperature drops. What I love about this hack is how flexible it is. You can make a single arch for a potted plant, or line up a few hoops in a row to create a tunnel over your garden bed. When the sun comes out, just lift the cover to vent it, and when spring rolls in, the hoops can be used again for climbing plants like beans or peas. It's cheap, it's simple, and it's one of those hacks that makes you wonder why you didn't think of it sooner. Hack number 9. Shower caps for potted plants. Here's a gem from the bathroom aisle. Those clear plastic shower caps. Most people grab them for travel, but gardeners, we know they're actually little plant protectors in disguise. Here's the trick. On frosty nights, or during sudden cold snaps, stretch a shower cap right over the top of your small potted plants. Instantly you've got a snug cover that traps a layer of warmer air inside, like a tiny greenhouse dome. Because they're elastic, the caps grip snugly around the pot, so you don't have to worry about them blowing away in the wind. And since they're clear, sunlight still gets through during the day, so you don't need to uncover the plants unless you want more airflow. The beauty of this hack is how quick and reusable it is. If you're short on time and don't want to set up big covers, just pop a shower cap on your plants before bed, and pull it off the next morning. No fuss, no tools, no mess. And here's a bonus tip. They work great for indoor plants too. If you've got herbs or houseplants near drafty windows, a shower cap can shield them from sudden chills without blocking their light. For just $1 a pack, you'll have enough to cover a whole lineup of pots through the winter. Hack number 10. Solar garden lights, for gentle warmth. For our last hack, we're heading to the outdoor aisle. Solar garden lights. Most people stick them in the yard for decoration, but here's a little secret. Those lights can actually help your plants survive cold nights. Here's how it works. During the day, the lights soak up energy from the sun. At night they release a gentle glow, and more importantly, a touch of warmth. If you place a few of these lights close to your plants, that steady trickle of heat can make just enough difference to keep frost from taking over. Now I'm not saying they'll replace a full-on greenhouse heater, but for small potted plants, tender herbs or seedlings, they act like little campfires, creating pockets of warmth exactly where you need them. And the best part, they recharge themselves every single day, so you don't add a penny to your electric bill. You can even take it a step further by placing the lights inside clear jars or lanterns before setting them next to your plants. That traps the heat a bit longer and adds a charming glow to your garden while protecting your plants at the same time. It's one of those hacks that feels a little magical, using the power of the sun during the day to guard your plants all night long. And there you have it. 10 simple Dollar Tree hacks to help keep your plants alive all winter long. Who knew that cake carriers, mop heads, and even shower caps could double as garden lifesavers, right? But here's the thing. Gardening isn't just about keeping plants alive. It's about creativity, resilience, and finding beauty in the little things. And if you're here watching this, it means you're the kind of gardener who doesn't just give up when the frost rolls in. You adapt, you try new things, and you make it work without breaking the bank. Now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these hacks are you excited to try first? Or do you have your own quirky winter-saving trick that other gardeners could benefit from? Drop it in the comments, because your idea might be the one that saves someone else's garden this season. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps more gardeners like us find these budget-friendly tips. And if you're new here, welcome to the Timeless Gardening family. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss our next video, because I promise, we've got more creative, money-saving garden tricks on the way. Until next time, stay warm, stay creative, and keep your garden thriving, no matter the season.